All right, guys, so this is a cool little, oh. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Grow. Today we just wanted to kind of give you guys some updates about some of the things that we've been working on. Finally starting to get the building to a point to where we can really start doing some production. So we've got the microgreen section set up pretty well. We have been working on our bathroom, and today we're actually working on getting our walk-in cooler set back up. I bought it a couple years ago and it's been sitting while we've been building the building. So we're gonna get it hooked up today, see if it has power, see if everything's still good for it. And then we're gonna take a little tour through the warehouse and we're gonna show you some of the new things that we're working on. So we actually have a little bit of a surprise for you. We've been keeping it under wraps. I know I got a little excited and showed a couple videos of some liquid culture and some things like that. But guys, we actually have been working on our mushroom setup. And this is our first fruiting chamber that we had. You gotta ignore my tape job that I have here. Believe it or not, the instructions are actually useful. So make sure whenever you're setting these tents up, you don't try and stretch this outside cover over the bars because it will rip. I gotta get this sewed up, but it's holding together for now. Let's take a look into the mushroom tent and see what we got going on in here. So this is our mushroom tent. We've got some mushrooms starting to pop off in here already. We didn't go great guns and set up all of our shelves in here. We kind of just wanted to start off slow, kind of get a couple customers taken care of, and we'll add shelves as we go. But we got 7-pound substrate blocks right here. On our first yield, we should get anywhere between 3 and 5 pounds off each one of these blocks. We already pulled about 10 pounds so far. But I went ahead and planned for about 50 pounds for this week, and things are looking pretty good. We're gonna go ahead and pull these mushrooms on Sunday, go ahead and get them into the walk-in, and they'll get delivered on Monday to some of our local restaurants. I'm actually gonna go turn this off real quick so we don't have fog blowing on our face and stuff. These are blue oyster mushrooms. They're very easy to grow. These things yield on the first round anywhere between 3 and 5 pounds per block. So they yield very heavy. They're very forgiving when it comes to environment and humidity fluctuation. So if you're a new grower that's just getting into growing mushrooms, these are a super easy one to grow. And as you can see, like right here, they're all starting to produce some pinheads or primordia, and they're all looking really good. So these blocks I opened up about 3 days ago, and they're already starting to look really good. This one over here is popping off a little bit more than some of the others. And it's really interesting because they'll be at this phase, but like from this phase, like once they start to fruit, they basically like double in size every day. So like today this cluster's this size, but tomorrow it'll be this size. And then by the third day, it'll be about this size. And we want to catch it on that third day. We might even want to catch it on the second day. We want to really look to make sure that the caps of these oysters aren't starting to bend up, because what happens is whenever the spores start to release, the mushrooms, the tips of the caps of the mushrooms actually start to curl up. And not only does that make the mushrooms not really look good, but that's a point in time when they're actually starting to break down, so you're not going to have as much of a meaty texture. They're going to be more waterlogged and they're not going to last for as long. So that's kind of what we have going on. Again, this is our first fruiting chamber that we're putting together. We kind of wanted to run some tests, but I think everything's looking really good. So we went ahead and sold 10 pounds to my friend Chef Good over at NC State. Come Monday, we have some chefs that we're going to be taking the rest of these mushrooms to. So we're super excited. You guys be sure to follow along, and we'll continue to keep you updated with every step of our journey moving into the mushroom game. There's all different types of grow tents out there. The reason that we choose to use grow tents is because we're putting lots of moisture into our room. Number one, we have to have an isolated room to keep our mushrooms fruiting, where we can pump a very high percentage of moisture in. So instead of trying to build a room, having to buy sheetrock, all the wood, refrigerated paneling, all that stuff, we thought that it would be the most efficient to use one of these grow tents. Now, you don't have to use a 10 by 10. There's all different types of dimensions, but we want to be able to grow a good amount of mushrooms. So we chose a nice 10 by 10, and it's been working really well for us. It's very easy to put together. We've got these little posts here that clip right in through these little clip pieces here. We've got our fogger that comes in through this hole right here. And then we've got an oscillating fan that clips right onto this post. This is just a cheap low voltage fan that we use to create airflow. One of the main components of a mushroom fruiting chamber is airflow. So we need to have a good fan right here. And then this thing is also really awesome because it has lots of holes for inputs. So for ducting, carbon filters, power cords, anything like that, it's got lots of inputs, which makes it very versatile and gives you the ability to use it for a lot of things. So this is a Vizio tent that I got. Like I said, I got it off Amazon, and I'll be sure to tag the link in the description if you guys want to get one just like this. Last but not least, we have our outtake fan. So in a second, we'll step out and I'll show you where the ventilation goes to and how it's set up. But basically, we're pumping humidity into the room and airflow. And so we want to be able to have a way to suck it back out. That's the only way we can control the humidity levels alongside of our humidity controller. So this is our control right here. This controls our outtake fan that we were just talking about right here on the inside. So this duct goes from the inside up and out. And then we have a trap right here that allows for, this is kind of like a carb. So it allows for any airflow or anything. If there's like any type of cloggage or anything going on in here, we can take this apart, kind of blow air up into it, and it keeps everything nice and clear. But our duct line goes from the tent all the way over to here, up and then out the building, where we have to make sure that our ducting goes out and away from the building so that if we have a spore release in the fruiting chamber, we don't have spores sticking all to the outsides of our building. Let's take a look at our fogger that we built. So this is super simple. I'll be sure to tag a list of the components in the comments for you guys. But basically all it is some 2-inch PVC, one of these toilet fittings right here, a cheap inline fan that we got off Amazon. I'm actually going to unplug this for a second just so I can show you guys what it looks like on the inside. I'm going to unplug the fogger as well. We'll take our fan off here and open this lid. All right, guys, so basically what we do is we've got this float. This float sits, well, this fogger sits on these two floats that floats on the water. And basically what these circles do is they create heat. And so whenever they come in contact with the water, it creates fog, which is what we're going for. So we'll let this float sit down here in the water. We'll fill the tote up just about to the top. I usually go about 3/4 of the way up to the top, because what happens is if you let the fogger get too close to the plastic, it'll burn micro holes in it and it won't keep the tub airtight to give quite as good fog flow into your fruiting chamber. Put the top back on. I'm gonna go ahead and plug this thing back in real quick. Now let's take a look and make sure that it cut back on properly. Oh yeah, it's working really well. Take a look. All right, guys, so this is a cool little room that I've been working on here. As you can see, we got a couple different components going on. We got some grain bags and some production bags. Whenever you're colonizing your grain or your production bags, you really want to have really good airflow, and you also want to have an isolated area where there's not so much potential for contamination from other types of airborne spores and things like that. So this tent right here is going to be used for our production bags. So I'll open this up so you can see what it looks like on the inside. It's empty right now. But basically what we're going to be doing over the next couple of days is we're going to be setting up our shelves, and we're going to be able to put about 6 shelves in here with the ability to slide them apart, kind of get in here, so we don't really want to overcrowd things. But this is going to have shelves in here just like this, and this first tent is going to be for production bags, and then this second tent right here is going to be for grain bags. And it's going to be the same thing. We haven't put our shelves in here yet, but that's something that we're working on. So this is going to get shelves in here, grain bags, and then this third tent right here is actually going to be our lab. This is where we're going to be doing all of our sterile work. So we've got our flow hood in here. We've got our culture bank. This is our clean room. This is like where we're going to be doing all of our preparation. So let's take a look in here. So we got our stainless steel table in here. We got a nice laminar flow hood. I actually just took a couple loaves of production bags out, so they're hanging out right here. We want to make sure that anytime we take anything out of our cookers, that we're opening them up straight in front of the flow hood, and then we're keeping them stored until we get them to where they need to be to avoid contamination. So this is our prep area right here. And then this right here is actually my culture cooler. This is where I keep all my genetics, where I keep all my liquid culture that I've been working on breeding and letting mature. So we can take a look at some of the culture that I have. This one is a pink oyster actually. So as you can see right here, we got really clear, nice clear broth. And then when I take this thing and spin it up a little bit, really nice separation. So the broth is super clear. And then we have really nice thick clouds of mycelium. This is what we're really looking for. Whenever we inoculate this into grain, it's going to take off very quickly. If we saw any type of cloudiness, any type of like grainy type look in the culture, any type of colors or anything that's floating on the top, that's a clear indicator of contamination. But this right here is exactly what we're looking for. All right, guys, so that's kind of what we have going on. We're so excited to start growing mushrooms for some of the chefs that we've been working with. We're not getting out of the microgreen game at all. We've actually just got started with the microgreen game. We're just trying to elevate a little bit. We want to, we have the space to be able to grow mushrooms, and we have the know-how. We have a lot of chefs that would like to be able to get fresh local mushrooms. So we're hoping to meet that need, guys. We'll be sure to give you guys lots of updates, keep you guys in the loop with everything that we have going on. I really appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Thank you so much.